So let's deepen our understanding of strings a little more via this example. So let's say we have a string literal 0. So this is a string literal. It will be computed at compile time and stored at address 100. So a string reference will point to the value 0 at address 100. Similarly, b string is a reference pointing to this string content, which is 0, 1. This is evaluated at compile time because both are string literals. So this can essentially be replaced by 0, 1. So that would be a string literal, compile time, and let's say it's stored at address 101. What is stored at address 101? 0, 1 content. So now we check a string plus 1 is equal to this or not. So essentially what a string plus evaluates to is a string is what? 0. It's a string literal, right? So this is essentially what it is replaced by, and it evaluates to 0, 1. So therefore we can say 0, 1 equal to 0, 1. So this should give true, right? Because both the strings are the same at the same address. Both are string literals. However, if this would have been 0, this would have given true output. However, it would give false. Why? Because we were using a variable here. So during compile time, the program doesn't calculate this as 0, 1. It is computed at runtime. So since it's computed at runtime, so a string plus 1, this still evaluates to 0, 1, but stored at a new address, let's say 105. Why? Since it is a new string. A variable plus a string literal is considered to be a new string, and therefore new string will have new address and will not be the same as address 101, will not have the same address as 101. So therefore this output false. Similarly, then we check a string plus 1. This is again done during runtime. However, we're checking the equals method, so we're just supposed to check the content of that. So let's say same thing happens. Since it is a new string, just a moment, same thing happens. 0, 1 stored at a new address, but this is again a new string, so this will be stored at a different address. So let's say 110, and this will evaluate, since we're only comparing the contents, so 0, 1 and the content of this string literal are the same, so this will evaluate to true. So let's check our output. See, so the first part is false and the second part is true. So I've extended this example a little bit. So let's assume this is what we have again. I'll just comment out this for now. A string is ABC, D string is AB, E string is C. So system out print line D string plus C is equal to ABC or not. It should be the same because AB plus C gives us ABC, right? So both should point to the same thing. But because of same reasoning, we're using a plus operator with a variable for string literal, not the string literal directly. So therefore this is computed at runtime. I'll just copy this portion here. So this is also computed at runtime. So D string plus C gives us ABC, but it is stored at a new address, let's say 205, since it is a new string. And then it is compared with the string literal ABC, which is stored at address, let's say 400. So these are not stored at the same address, right? So therefore this will give us false. D string plus A string, again these are individually string literals pointing to the same pointing to the string literals, but these are variable for string literals, therefore cannot be concatenated at the compile time. These happen during the runtime. So for the same reasoning as here, these happen at runtime. So this will eventually evaluate to ABC, but it is a new string and we're stored at a new address, let's say 305. And this will also evaluate to false. Since ABC is stored at 400, this will be stored at 305. We're comparing the address, so that would be the false. That would give the false output. Similarly here, since we're using a variable with string literal, although this will evaluate to ABC, but since they're both pointing at different addresses, this, let's say this now points at 505. So A string points at 400. So these are different addresses, so this cannot work. For the same reason here, this will also not work. Line number 19. This D string plus C string evaluates to ABC, but during runtime. and therefore will be stored at a new address, let's say 605. And if we compare it with a string, that is again a string is stored at 400, so it is false. Equal to will give false. However, note that we're now comparing it in a different fashion. D string, which is AB, let's say this is stored at address 90. So this is computed during compile time. This can be written as compile time. This can be written as D string being compared with AB. So this is essentially what is happening. D string being compared with AB, and this happens because these are concatenated during compile time because they are direct string literals. So now we can check whether AB is stored at 90, and D string is also a variable for the string literal AB which is stored at 90. Therefore this gives us true. So let's check our output. False, 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 true.